Hey, good evening, everybody. It is the evening of Thanksgiving Eve, or I guess that's the best way to put it. Here we are tonight at our usual Wednesday evening, 7:15 live talk forum. It's with me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, here to bridge the gap between Earth World, what is happening, and the metaphysical and all that is God or love for our new destiny, the destiny that we are living now, and everything that is God or love for our best lives. Everything working from love, working with God, working with universe, but always love in the purest form. That's what the show is about. It is every Wednesday. It is every Wednesday at 7:15. And tonight is Thanksgiving Eve. And I'm so excited because we have a whole fucking shitload to be thankful for, all of us. And that was kind of how I wanted to open it tonight. But before we get into that space, I just want to say thank you all for coming. We are live here. We have a live studio audience here for our live talk forum show. That's what this is, with me, Lynn Rene MacDonald. And we have a live audience where you can come in here at any time when we have the show at 7:15 on Wednesday evenings here in Virginia Beach, Virginia at the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. Okay, that said, you can also reach us here online on our YouTubes as well. The YouTubes do the replays. We've been having a little bit of YouTube issues because of all kinds of stuff with the NWO, the New World Order, and all that crap that they're trying, to cancel anybody who is out of their agenda, as you know. So there's challenges with the YouTube, but you can catch the replays on our YouTube channel, which is Lynn Rene MacDonald Practical Spirituality live on YouTube, and there's 310 videos. They've taken a bunch of them down. A lot of them are where we put our replays here from tonight's show and from all our shows on Wednesday night. So just to let you know, you have that avenue. We're working on it now, getting a Rumble account so that we won't be censored in the same way that we have been in the past. And also, we are also being shadow banned, we feel, because we've had thousands of viewers, and now all of a sudden, every now and then, it gets cut down to 200, and we had like over 600, and then we had like almost 1,200 or more. And so there's all this crazy shit going on behind the scenes in this world to stop people like us that are not in the narrative, as you all know, here in Earth World. So tonight is our Thanksgiving evening show. I just want to tell you all of these things to start us out here. You can come visit us at any time, as well as you can come right here on our show live on Facebook every Wednesday night. I see everybody popping up here. Thank you all for coming. Hi guys, I can see my diehard regulars, and then we got more people coming. But we're fighting against great darkness. We have some incredible information as always for you this week. God does never desert us, all right? Or love does never desert us, and we are super, super, super blessed, all of us. So tonight I want to say, in alignment with Thanksgiving, I just want to say thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for sharing about us. Thank you for all the good things you do in the world. Thank you for us continuing to do good and amazing things truly, authentically from love, and for us always being there for each other from love. And also, I see some people putting some crazy shit. That's Mark. He's got some kind of big red turkey bird. Hey, Mark. And I want to say thank you all for coming. I see you all on here. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. And let me see. So we have a lot to be thankful for tonight with tonight's show. And I just want us all to take a minute and to remember how despite everything that is fucked up in the world, how blessed we really are. Because no matter what happens, we will be fine as long as we are in our hearts and we work with love. So we are super, super, super blessed. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. I see all you guys on here. Okay, so I just want to take a minute and just thank God and all that is love and I'd like you guys to do it with me if you could. Just in your heart. You don't have to say anything. If you want to, you can. All right. If you want to add anything to it, I just want to thank God for everything, for our families, for each other. And I'm going to try not to get all crazy emotional with it. And love, because this whole journey through these past 3 years, it's been a hell of a ride on a personal level for everybody here and in the collective world. And we are really in the midst of a giant fuckstorm, and we have so much that we have grown and come to a whole new world of love. We have and we are. And this is where we're standing right now, and this is why I'm getting all emotional with it. So, where's my tissues over here? Let me grab one. So we have lots to be thankful for. And the most important thing that we have to be thankful for is love itself and each other. Our families, our friends, the people who give a shit about us, truly give a shit about us. And God, or love itself, and all the abundance that we all have in our lives. Thank you, God, for this for us. Always. And we are so grateful. Thank you, love, right? For all of this, for all of us. And anything you want to post up here to be thankful for, please do. Because this is what it's all about. This is what this holiday is about. Great food, a great home, everything you could ever possibly need. The universe will provide you. Love will provide you. God will provide you, right? And your soul, because you are that space. Okay. That said, thank you, God, for everything, for all you guys here, for our show, for everything that we all do to make this world great. All right. And all that it is from love, and everything that universe brings to us and pours on us and rains on us, from great, incredible, amazing love, power, gifts, tools, abundance, health, wellness, friends, family, food, earth world things, everything we need from love. And thank you, God, for everything for us from love and for all of this. And we're super grateful. All right. So that said, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. May you have the greatest holiday, the best of everything from love. And tonight's show, we got a lot of crazy shit to talk about. I just want to say thanks again for coming. Rachel, if you want to take a minute to tell me who's here so I can say hi to everybody.
We have Sarah Andrews.
Hi, Sarah Andrews.
We got Dee.
Dee.
Kathy Warmick.
Kathy.
Teresa.
Teresa.
We have Todd Rainey.
All right. Oh, Todd. Hi, Todd.
And Angela Pearl and Mark Etheridge.
Cool. Thank you all.
I think that's all I can see right now.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. Super, super grateful. Tonight I have my faithful associates, Jennifer and Ray. And then I have my accomplice in the back, my other genius, which is Sophia. And she's in the back. She always comes to all our shows as well. So I'm super grateful for all you. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for supporting what we do in however way that you can. Whatever way it is that you want to donate, please do share about us. The more we help each other and get this stuff out, the more we change the world and work together and bring great things to everybody. That said, if you guys know anybody who doesn't have any food or supplies or anything in the earth world, please have them contact us here at the Institute of Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. The number here is 757-559-86. What is it? 8680? 8680? Too much cell phone where my phone remembers the number, right? So again, it's 757-559-8680. If they need any help, we will set up groceries bag for you. Any other things that you need, blankets, toys for the holidays, blankets, pillows, anything that you need in Earth World. We are in the business of helping people get to that kind of business, get the things that they need, not necessarily them doing the business, but our business helps people get to what they need. All right. Because we're all about helping people, whether it's here on the show metaphysically, and also Earth World, because what we do is we live in Earth World dimension. So if you're short on heat, short on anything that you need, come see us and we'll do our best to help you, guided by higher knowing, God, love, for the best solutions and gifts, no matter what the struggle is, both in Earth World and metaphysically, whether it is, psychological, addiction, mental. We do energy work. We offer all kinds of different health services for physical well-being as well. So we are a whole spectrum of everything that is God and love to help people. We are a love, energy, healing, and teaching center, Institute for Christ Consciousness, higher consciousness, working with love to have the best well-being, best understanding, best knowledge, best enlightenment, best of everything we need from love, health, everything in the purest form, highest consciousness of love, all right, to help everybody, including your pets, all right, including people, including everything that is love, all right. That's our goal here, to help everybody all the time as much as possible. So just putting it out there. So if you know anybody who needs help, and you're local in the area or anywhere else, we'll figure it out. Okay. So thank you, everybody. Many blessings. And so we got to say hi to everybody. What else did we do? It's quiet here tonight, so we don't have many people here tonight. And what are you laughing at?
Nothing. Dee's just cute. She just wrote, I've been working with Lynn for years. 1,000 out of 10 would recommend.
God bless you, Dee. Thank you so much. Okay, so tonight, interesting enough, as you know, everybody talks about we're gonna open up with what's going on in the world without getting into our other spaces. We have new information or information that is been out there, okay? But we're gonna help everybody put it together even more so in the grand scheme of what's going on in the collective and what's going on in the world. We're gonna give you some books to go with this. If you haven't already taken a look at these books to see what the God's honest truth is, because everyone's like, oh, it's a conspiracy theory and we're living in this dimension and none of this has happened, and that's not really the God's honest truth. The God's honest truth is out here in everything in your reality, in mine on a personal level and yours too, as well as everything that goes on out here in Earth World. Okay? That said, universe has brought us ways today to bridge these gaps and give you a different form of understanding, along with what I do and all the avenues that your soul brings to you to understand what is happening in this collective, who you are, what's going on in the world, what's happening across the board with different perspectives. Two people with two different books we have been brought to in our journey as we ask God for the God's honest truth, because that's what we do. We want to know the truth of anything. We ask God for it. What's the God's honest truth, God? Thanks for us knowing. Show us where that is. Lead us to it. Let us understand it. Let us know it. What is the God's honest truth? And then when universe brings us those materials, we have to feel in our heart, boom, we know right away if it's the truth or it has lots of truth in it for us to explore, understand, get, and know. And we will know by how it feels. Just like when they did the COVID-19 shot, instantly I thought I was going to vomit, right? When it was up there, they were putting the COVID out, the COVID sicknesses out there, and then they did the inoculations, right? And they're asking everybody to get the inoculations, and instantly I feel sick to my stomach, and I'm like, oh, this is no good. This is no good. You know the fucking truth. We all do. Your soul knows it. It feels it in your heart. That's the truth of God. That's the truth of love. When you don't believe it or you don't know or you're not sure, ask and you shall receive. That's the Christ formula. Ask. Work with love. Ask God. Ask universe, right? Whole different way that we've always known from the beginning of all time. All that is God or love, right? In every dimension you are in, you are super connected to all that is love. And that is how you know what the truth of anything is, okay? This said, I have some really good books here in Earthworld to help you guys put all the pieces and understanding together. You ready? The first one, and I know that both of these people are extremely controversial figures, but there is great truth for what is going on out here and all of this. The first that we got is The Great Reset and the War for the World. Alex Jones, okay? A lot of controversial stuff with Alex Jones. You look this shit up, okay? We just purchased the book. We thought we'd take a look at it. Rachel has done a lot of just reading on it today and looking into it because we just got this book in the mail. We've heard about it. We hear different shows like Redacted will tell you some stuff. Lynette, what is Lynette's last name? Lynette Zhang. She has some stuff. This other guy, Jake, he'll have some stuff in different areas. Some will be in financials. Rick Rule is another one. Where these people study the financial market. They're masters at this stuff. But also there's a whole bunch of different people who tell you bits and pieces of the story of the Great Reset and what's really going on. But we all stand out here in Earthworld and we just got this piece and we just got that piece. And while it makes sense here, and then there's Elon Musk over here, and what the fuck is he doing? And we don't feel good about him, right? Interesting enough, this book talks about so many of the things that we talk about, gives you a different perspective of what's been going on for decades behind the scenes, as well as, and for those of you who don't believe that this is real shit, that they think it's a conspiracy theory, right? It doesn't mean that there isn't truths in this book that are debatable. What does that mean? That's based in the understanding that you have, as well as the understanding that is the God's honest truth of God. All because it's said in a particular way doesn't mean it's a lie. It's about understanding it and understanding from love and higher knowing how it truly works. So people can speak one thing and we can't understand each other because it's not exactly like that. A perfect example is, you can ask God for a glass of milk, or you can ask God for something, and yeah, it comes in and it will literally come in your reality, but how often does it come in exactly, always in the way that you thought it would? Like almost zero, like 0.2999999%, right? It's such a small amount in the relativity of how much God could manifest infinite abundance or whatever it is that you're asking. It's in this way, but given all the perspectives of all the people across the board and all that is God, right? It makes it very challenging for us to communicate and to understand. So the best way for us to understand not only ourselves, but each other is what? By working with God, working with love, asking for the truth, feeling it in our heart. And then universe brings us tools and gifts like this book. All right? All right. Now, not everything is the God's honest truth. You will feel what is in alignment and what is not. And a lot of this stuff is going to be the truth, right? You'll feel it. But like me with universe, they're like when Alex Jones talks about like the Sandy Hook shooting, right? And he's got a lawsuit against him supposedly for all this shit and what he said, because he was something about it was staged and it wasn't real or something like that, right? But all because he says it doesn't mean that it wasn't staged. It's just not in the way that we think. And just last week, we talked about taking what is logical and flipping it around and thinking of it what? Differently. Because that is how God rolls. That's how universe rolls. And that's how love works, right? It's never, very, 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 very rarely is it in exactly the way we think, right? So just remember that when you read this and when you don't believe something, ask God for the God's honest truth, okay? Because we're going to talk about this, and this is one of the books that's coming in, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this in depth tonight, because there's a lot of really great truths in here. It talks about the Rockefellers. It talks about the elitists. It talks about how this plan had been incorporated through decades over time, which presidents were involved with this darkness that is trying to take over the world or has been behind all the crap and all the scenes. Why is it so hard to make it in Hollywood? Because, or to be in an elitist school or to be that kind of successful in this reality? Because there is darkness underneath it all. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're a warden of the darkness, not unlike when my daughter was in the shop, as we've talked about before, right? She has a necromancer come in and he says, I can assign you a demon and you can be really fucking way more successful than your shop is today. You want that demon? And my daughter says, what is it? She's like all confused. And she's like, well, what exactly is that going to cost me? Oh, what am I going to do? What do I do? And he says, you don't have to do anything until the demon requests something from you. Right? Yeah. So this is really about lower vibrational darkness. This is about dark and light. This is about basically all that is God and the underlying darknesses of how things work in souls as they come in. Lower vibrational souls that choose to be darkness. You have free will, right? So they come in and behind the scenes, they set the stage, they do the things, they have karma for this journey, for this growing, for these rewards on whatever side you are on, so to speak, light or dark. And this show is going to blow the doors off of you because ultimately, right, everything is all that is God. But we're talking about darkness and light. And this is a huge chunk, 73 to 78% of the reason Doreen Virtue has gone off on the religious path, universe tells me, okay? Because behind the scenes, there are an underlying in all these energies, because darkness is super smooth. Think about it this way. Here's the light of God, which we are all in, and we choose this light. Like my daughter said, when the necromancer came in and said, I can give you a demon, she's like, fuck no, right? Because we have all suffered so much that we know better than that. We know better because we've been there. We've been to hell and back. We've done that road infinite different ways. That's how we have these God gifts. That's how we have this understanding. But there is a battle here for people or energies that choose darkness, right? And so just like we come in, they come in. Okay. Think of it this way. Like George Carlin said, it's the good old boys club, and you're not in it. Same thing with all the, elitist schools. Now you can choose from free will to be in everything or anything or not. You get the choice. That's what free will is. So you can choose to be of the darkness, just like somebody who comes in and chooses to be of the darkness and decides to what? Change their path, change who they are. They can too. Just like my daughter had a choice. I can choose to be light, or I can choose to be darkness. So Doreen Virtue has gone off in this direction with this stuff, more of a religious kind of thing in this way for her journey. We all have different areas and ways for our own destinies, which interconnect in this whole entire matrix for the mission of what it is at different levels of God, right up to the highest end consciousnesses, Christ consciousness and beyond, right? To the lowest vibrations of the depths of hell, right? And so we all have a choice to be in these spaces. So know this, when you come in, these are the agreements. So when Alex Jones here says things are staged, it's not literally in the way that people think. Like they're like, oh, well, this is a dummy and this isn't real or that didn't really happen. No, there is truth in everything. It's just that it didn't happen in the way that, let's say, he thinks or the world thinks. There is a median in there that is the truth of God, of what really happened, let's say, like in things like Sandy Hook and what is going on in this collective world today. Okay, it's heavy, heavy shit, and it requires incredible understanding of all that is God. So anything that I say here, you don't understand it, you ask me here, what's the God's honest truth, and ask God for it. And let's ask God that we all understand it, that we have the best way to understand it, that universe speaks through me from love, and we all understand what I'm talking about here, right? Because a lot of people say, well, that didn't really happen, and they were dummies, and this was fake, but yet you'll see people get on the TV, or people who go around and talk about it, and this really was their kids, and it really did happen, right? Just like the people who jumped off the World Trade Center. You can say that didn't happen, all right? Or but here's the deal. What is really happening is the agreements between the darkness and the light behind the scenes. All right. And it doesn't mean that they don't have the experiences in this world, as well as there's multiple different layers of breakdowns in the consciousness of love, energy, and darkness in all that is God. All right, because darkness is all part of all that is God. And there are breakdowns in this consciousness that cause the deviations and the exiting or the changing of spaces of God that we are in, the trouble, the hard times, the emotional breakdowns, all right, or the reaching enlightenment. Some form of enlightenment. So these are complex energies that are working in the world today. And then there is the realities of earth world and all reality that we live in. So we are living here in earth world reality, and behind the scenes, like somebody who got shot, who had one of their children killed in Sandy Hook. It's not that it didn't happen and that the darkness hasn't orchestrated this. It absolutely is. And when you think about it, you say, well, why would that ever happen? And because this is about past life karma governed by the darkness. Think about that. Governed by the darkness, right? And that's basically what they've done with the inoculations. Think of it, and the universe literally said this to me, and you guys might think I'm motherfucking crazy, but I don't care. My job is to tell you the truth of this world and all world dimensions and all that is God, right? So the truth is, this inoculation shit is basically lizard serum. Right? It cuts you off. Think about that. Cold-blooded. When you are cold-blooded, you are cut off from what? Your heart, your God space, right? And I'm seeing this everywhere in all the actions and all the things that I'm talking about here. You will see it in your reality. And it doesn't mean that good people can't have breaks where they get in those dark spaces and shoot people and do mass shootings, because as people start to lose their shit, and because part of it, and a huge chunk is because they have gotten this lizard serum. All right. Good name for it, right? The lizard serum, right? All right. Because they have gotten this stuff, all right, it creates their darkness to overrule, because they're cut off from their hearts. So they're going to be just like, what you call different factions of darkness ruled by, and you can call it the cabal. You could call it the black sun. You could call it the dragon people. You could call it dragons. You can call it lizards. You can call it a whole bunch of different energies that are of the darkness, whether, you call witches, sirens, Satanism, demons, right? This is all different names, just like there's all different vibrations of all that is God. And there's all different communication, all different language, all different understandings at the level of God and the vibration that you are what? In. Neat shit. Also at the same time, extremely, what is the word I'm looking for? For a lot of people, difficult to wrap your head around, because we were brought up in Saturn's earth world. And in Saturn's earth world, this is the code of ethics. And there were some beautiful things in that because Saturn is about love. Saturn's about honor. Saturn's about respect, integrity, doing the right thing. So there was a whole code of ethic for a long time that they couldn't surpass in earth world. And it has taken them many times, this darkness, this satanic, this dark energy. And this goes through all dimensions and all that is God. Why wouldn't it? But here, today, right now, is the battle for the earth. And like I've always said, we are superheroes of the universe. We have come in to do this work. Think about it. I sit here and I'm like, why do I have a gold Jeep, right? I have a gold Jeep because gold is most abundant of all the metals in this reality and known as that, right? So I have a gold Jeep, right? So it's like a gold chariot if you think about it, right? Why do I have a Jeep? I liken it to one day I saw the movie Terminator. Lynnhaven has a Jeep. What does she do? She fought off the motherfucking AI, the cyborgs, the fucking freaks, right? Think about this. Everything in our reality tells us the truth about what's going on here. I didn't get the Jeep because Linda Hamilton had a Jeep. I got a Jeep because my soul called it in with God for multiple different reasons. Because the universe told me I need a Rubicon to ride over the bullshit in this world. And I said, doesn't that make sense? Right? Yeah. So everything out here is designed to teach and heal and assist us from love, and so that we can understand what's really going on here. The truth, the God's honest truth about everything personal to us and in our personal lives as well as in the collective. All right. So this is what we're talking about here to give you a different perspective of exactly what is going on. And this battle has been going on and it's coming to a head. It's the battle for the planet. It's for the God's honest truth from love. It is the battle for this earth world dimension. And when we're done here, we're going to go to other dimensions if we so choose. Like people say, I won't want to come in this dimension anymore. That's fine. You don't have to come in this dimension. But people like us, we're so in love with love itself, we can't stand anything, but love. And so therefore, it is absolutely unacceptable for this kind of shit to be going on in the planet, right? Here in this dimension, on this planet. So think of it as we're crazy. We're crazy. We're crazy from love. But is there any other way to be? No, absolutely not. There's no other way to be. All right. That said, anybody have any questions about what I'm talking about? So what happens is you get that lizard serum, it takes over. It takes over you. And I'm seeing it in people and families with money, with businesses, with nastiness, you name it. It is in the banking system, just like the elitists and the bankers are all part of this. The pedophile rings are all part of this. All the satanic shit, but it's not necessarily in the way exactly that you think, right? I remember I went to Florida, I want to say at least 3 or 4 years back. And when I would travel the country a lot and do events and shows, I would take an Uber car. And one time I got into this Uber car driver and he was down in Florida and he just started talking to me. All right. And this is the amazing thing about God is God always brings to you the truth whether you realize it or not. And this guy was talking about how these 12-year-old girls, would get in his car and they'd be naked and he would pick them up from parties and drive them to different places and try to help them. And they would be in his Uber car and it was like a mad sex ring out in Florida. And the school teachers were like bribing them. And then like 4 years later, here we have the Epstein epidemic. And I was like, when he was telling me this, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no way. It was like virtually impossible in that space where I was for me to really get that. And this guy's telling me this totally naked 12-year-old girl, he's like, is in his car, runs out of a house, in his car, in his Uber car. He gave her his jacket and shit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ in heaven. This can't be happening. What are the odds of me getting in a car, going to Florida for one of my many, many, many destinations every weekend for 5 years in a row that I get into this guy's car? And there's no way you can't tell me that this isn't the truth. I had another Uber driver girl who told me she was in Iran and in prison. It was either in Iran or Egypt or somewhere in the Middle East, and with the horrific things that happened to her, unbelievable stuff based all in lies, and being raped and imprisoned, and yet she's here in America and she wants to be a nurse and she wants to help people, and right now she's an Uber driver, and this has got to be 3 or 4 years ago at least as well, and she's telling me her story, and yet she somehow psychologically in her heart has her shit together to be able to do this after these unbelievable experiences. Because the truth is, man, this shit is real. This shit is real. And it is in the perspective of every one of us. But we can only explain it and describe it and understand it and speak it and hear it and listen and share with each other based on the God spaces that we are in. And this is where the challenge becomes. Where is the truth? This is why we must always bring it to source, always bring it to God, always bring it to love, and feel in our heart what the truth is. Just like I like the Redacted show, just like I like Lynette Zhang, to watch some of their videos. Now, I don't watch all the time. I watch when God guides me to. If it comes on my feed and I ask God a question, and whether it's related in the moment or I realize it or not, if it's there for a reason. Whether I want to know the date to when the economy is going to collapse or whatever I need to know, the answers will be in these videos, or the answer will be somewhere within this information. Universe will guide me to it, and they will talk to me about it. But not every video that they have is the God's honest truth either, right? It's based on, again, the space of God that they are in and their understanding. But it is up to you and all of us to work with God, to work with love, so we are always in alignment with that energy. All right. So we know what the God's honest truth is, and always listen to your what? Your heart, because you will feel it. Right. And so this is why we've brought this great book to you today. The Great Reset. We also would like you to take a look in here, because it's amazing how it explains, everything from, the good old boys club to, Harvard and Yale and Zuckerberg and Bezos, and including who is that? The Elon Musk. And what's amazing about Elon Musk is, like we said, we haven't felt good about Elon Musk and the shit going on with him, because you know what the truth is. The fact that he wore some kind of motherfucking satanic demon suit for Halloween party at the gala or what the fuck ever it was tells you, that's God telling you the God's honest truth of what's really going on in there, right? And the AI shit, what did you say AI was, Rachel, you said to me?
Arrogance and, oh my gosh, what's the other
ignorance.
one? Yes.
AI, arrogance and ignorance. Is that funny shit? AI. Think about that. All right. That's what happens when you're fucked up in your heart space, when you're not well, when you're cut off from your heart. That's what AI is. But used in the healthiest way from God, it would not be called that. It will be some other name, because it will be to help the people from love. Okay. So think about this shit. Elon Musk stuff. All right. Right now, what we're going through in this reality, and some of it is talked about even in this book, but not exactly in this way that I'm going to say it to you guys, because this is really important. So you guys know. Hold on a second. Everything that's going on with Elon Musk, from the buying of the Twitter, from the jacking with the stock market, way back when with, what was that, Dogecoin, okay? All these things. And then he goes to the gala and everybody loves him and Hollywood loves him, right? And really, who the fuck is Elon Musk? When you think about it, I'm naming my kid a number. I got to say to myself, what the fuck? What the fuck, right? Okay. And that said, right, what's happening is, this is part of the ultimate grand design. The design here as an overseer of all that is darkness, because Elon Musk, let's be honest, has some incredible power here. Not unlike Vladimir Putin, not unlike a lot of other big rulers, right? There's a lot of power here. But the wild thing about Elon Musk is the same thing for Hollywood. And what happens to all the people. Everybody loves him because they're being fooled. They're being fooled. Think about that, right? Is what Hollywood says the truth of God and the truth of love? No, No, they feed you their bullshit, their story to try to manipulate you and get you to do what they want you to do, and they're agents of the darkness. Make no mistake about it. That's why Hollywood is dead. There is a new Hollywood, and it's being in your heart. It's doing the right thing. It's humanitarian work. It's changing this world. It's infinite God and love. And that's where all the greatest changes are going to be here. We're from people who are in their hearts. But here's the deal. They're deliberately getting everybody. Elon Musk just bought Twitter, right? They're deliberately getting everybody. Oh, Elon Musk is all about free speech, and look how he fucked up Dogecoin and made people money, and Elon Musk is this, and he's just so brilliant, and he's all of this. Do you think for a second that this shit is real? It's all part of the grand design in Elon Musk's ego space, and as a, what is the word for it? A facilitator of mad darkness. This is all part of the plan. And don't be surprised, like I've said before, if he tries to run for president, because he wants you, or the darkness wants you to love him. So you do what? Just like Hollywood. Hollywood said, oh, go get the inoculations. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. Fuck no, it's not. And the same thing is true with the shit they're doing for you, to you, and to the world with Elon Musk. Right? Yeah, they're making you love Elon Musk by the things, and they're setting us all up to have Elon Musk or whoever is in alignment with all of this darkness, right? All right, this is the grand plan. This is a massive part of the grand plan right now, is that Elon, if you love Elon Musk so much, we can get the people to do whatever we want because they love Elon Musk. Fucked up. Because Elon Musk is about free speech, and now he's endorsing Donald Trump, or he's doing this, or he's doing that, or he's giving him his Twitter feedback, and blah, 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 blah. But the people ain't seeing the God's honest truth here. Not at all. So this is how the darkness works, though. Just like with the Sandy Hook shit, they manipulate. And so why does that shit happen? Right? That happens through basically the toxic cabal, darkness, what is it called? Satanism, all of these dark factions from different worlds, different dimensions of all that is God, all right, that comes in, all right, and is all part of this mad, dark plan, right, that has already taken over the world, and now it is, returning to love. And this is why we're here, all right, for multiple reasons, because it is time. It is time to change this planet, change the world, and it's far-fetched and fucking crazy. This is superhero shit. This is Lex Luthor stuff. But this will give you all a new perspective, or more into the perspective of what the God's honest truth is about what's going on here. And all the world leaders that were out here went to school, went to be schooled by like all the elitists, Klaus Schwab, and who's the other ones? Bill Gates. All these people are all involved in this, the higher up, where they think they're so intelligent, more intelligent and wiser than God. Fuck no. Wisdom trumps everything, and they're so far from wisdom. Because in order to have wisdom, you have to connect to God in the highest form of love, right? And you have to truly be in that space to have that kind of power and understanding. And if you are in that space, you wouldn't be doing the shit that's going on in the collective, because that's not how it works. You see? Incredible stuff, right? So apparently, rumor has it, Vladimir Putin has gone and trained with, this Charles Schwab elitist school thing. And they were all programmed, right, so to speak, or trained so that they could be these world leaders, so they could take over the world government, because they already tried like 3 other times to take over everything. And this is all truth by what? How it feels. But it doesn't mean that Vladimir Putin can't change, or any of us can't change. You have, just like me, all right, because if I sat here and told you all the dark shit I had done in my life and all the crap I've been through, you'd be like, I want to throw up when I think of myself in that space. I'm still working on it, right? But I choose to not be that guy. I choose to be this. I choose to be this love energy. In any moment in your life, and always, you have a choice. That is free will of God. So remember that when it comes to Vladimir Putin, because there is a higher karmic thing going on here for him. Not all of these people, but if you listen to what the world leaders are saying, the leaders of all these governments, they were all put into these places. Just like the Sandy Hook shit. This is all part of the design to get rid of your guns. Get rid of gun control, because once America gives up their guns, we're fucked. Crazy shit, right? That's why the Japanese couldn't do it. Well, I don't even know if it was World War II, or I know Mark will know what war it was. But when they bombed Pearl Harbor and the Hiroshima thing, and that whole time in history, right? There's that one Japanese general who said, there's a gun in America. There's a gun behind every blade of grass, and he was absolutely right. Americans are all about freedom and love. Okay, all about it. They're really, and have been, some of the most giving people in the world and on the planet, and it represents love, freedom. All right, it's not necessarily this darkness that has been going on under here. They've been selling people that, and people have been believing that by being able to have so many wonderful, amazing, and beautiful things, and now they want to take away all these things because this darkness underneath it has always had this agenda but couldn't do it. But throughout time, they kept trying, and now they're trying to destroy and segregate the people, which is the BLM shit, which is the LGBTQ shit, which is all kinds of fucked up narratives. What is the other thing? The social, not credit.
Cancel culture?
Cancel culture. Yeah, cancel culture. Right? But yeah, well, the social credit score that they're going to try to instill, somebody was saying to me that New York State is trying to do a variation of it right now to see how it goes. See how it goes. So it's going to be some wild times, not unlike Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. However, you always have the power of God. And tonight's show, we wanted to give you insight into this incredible stuff. All right. Read Klaus Schwab's book. It's enough to make anyone vomit for eternity. Honest to God. All right. Read his book. I think it's called The COVID-19 and the Great Reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a real book, people, about the conspiracy theory that's fucking real. Okay? Right? Because you can see it happening out here. But remember, there's truths in everything. And all because Klaus Schwab says it. Apparently, he wants to be the ruler of all this. Of course. What darkness doesn't want to rule everything? What fat ass, nasty, toxic motherfucking ego doesn't want to rule the world? Right? Yeah. That's how you know it's fucking darkness. That's how you know it's unwell. So these books are going to help you all, give you guidance for all of us to get a better handle on how the pieces all connect, what's really been going on behind the scenes, how things are truly working. There is truth in everything, along with the stories that I have told you, where I was sitting there scratching my head going, this can't be fucking real. And there it is, like the Epstein child molestation ring, and everybody's involved in it, and they bribed everybody. I'm like, it's really fucking hard to believe anything like that could really be real. But this is some massive, incredible darkness. And this is why we're here. Everything we do from good and love and light helps to fight that 10 to 100-fold, because this is all the power. All right. So that said, I wanted to share these books with you so you guys can really take a look into it. All right. And get another perspective on what's really going on here as everything that is all the dynamics of God and love unfold. And in the astrology, this is what's happening. Everything's falling apart. The school systems, the healthcare systems. Even in that book, they talk about AI as being your new healthcare, because they're literally going to make you, or try to make you, into machine type things that they can enslave and control. That's what AI is. Arrogant intelligence. Yeah. Creepy shit. And you know that's right. You fucking know it's right. But why? Because you feel it in your heart. Whether they really bring it to that point or not is going to be interesting as we go down this path with God, as we get out there and we change and we create, because we are the people who stop this. The people stop this. God's people. That's you guys. That's me. God's people stop this. Right? When we say we've had enough of this, we've had enough of this system, because everything's a fucking lie. Everything's a matrix of bullshit, right? That we all employ into. And everything in God's time, right? You don't just throw everything in the garbage and say, I'm not doing this anymore. What you do is we roll with the energy of all that is God. We work with God. We work with love, and we listen to our hearts, and we watch, and we know, and we investigate, and we understand, working with God, working with love. And we know in our hearts, as these things unfold, what to do, when to do, how to do, what not to do, and we feel it in our heart, right? So just like anything, like if you knew there was a cop ahead, you're going to slow down so you don't get arrested. And that's the very thing that I'm talking about. If you're speeding or if you're, God forbid, drunk driving or doing something toxic, right? If you feel in your heart that there's a policeman ahead, you don't think you're going to slow down? You're an idiot if you don't. A fucking idiot. I know, I've been that idiot. I'm like, oh yeah, and then, or I'm not even fucking paying attention to my intuition. I'm cruising along the road and I see the red lights. I'm like, fuck, right? We've all been there. Right? But the more we work with love and God, and this is why this show is so massively important, because this is all the tools you need, people, because this will bring you infinite abundance in all way, infinite opportunities, infinite everything you need for whatever you choose to do here on a personal level and to fight the darkness or to change this world from love and to love in the purest form and the best solutions, the best ways. It is about navigating this world in these scary, scary times where people don't know what to do. So what do? In the lower vibrations, they look for people like Elon Musk, Hollywood movie stars, singers, dancers, athletes, you name it. People who are like successful and have lots of money. Isn't that funny? Money is a very prominent power in Earth world. That's why everybody wants money, right? Because money in a healthy space is freedom, but also money in an unhealthy space is toxic as fuck. My grandmother used to say to me when I was a kid, Lynn, she used to say, money is the root of all evil. Interesting enough, there's a massive truth in that, but in a healthy space of love in your heart, it is not. There's something called, imagine this, what is the word? What is the word God tells me? Positive greed. Positive greed, right? Imagine that. A positive, healthy way, wanting nice things for you from love for you. I wouldn't necessarily call it positive greed, but I had somebody I worked with years ago coined that, and I like the term because it helps people understand that it's not a bad thing, but it's really not greed. It's about wanting healthy, positive things from love and abundance for you by working with love and being your greatest you. And because you love you, you bring these things in, and then you share all these things with the world. So there's a whole huge grand plan, and the more we understand, the more we can navigate this reality, the more we see the truth, which is why I told you about these books, why I tell you what I get in the stories that I tell you, why I tell you the God's honest truth from love on this show, right, in the purest form. Why? Because these tools are what we all need to navigate this future, and this is the greatest gift I can give to you, me, my kids, my family, and this is all your power. It doesn't mean that you succumb and get on your knees to God like the religious shit and you're a sinner and all that crap. What it means is that you work with love because you choose to be the best person you can be, the best energy you can be from your heart. You choose to be that love and work in that space to do great things and live your greatest life. It isn't about sinning. It isn't about religion. It isn't about toxic. And when the toxic comes out, you clear it, you heal it, you change it, you work with God to be your greatest you, and boom. And that's what happens. It's about your intent. It's about your purity of heart. And it's not something you can buy. It's not something that you can't acquire, or you can acquire without doing the work, right? So the more you do the work, the more lifetimes you live, or however way you do it, whatever lifetimes you live, the more you get it, the more you have these gifts. And the more you aspire and work consciously to these spaces, the more amazing and connected you are to having all these gifts and living your greatest life. Okay, that said, that's a huge amount of what I wanted to say today. We're going to visit, I feel like we're going to go back and forth. We're going to do some questions from last week, some questions from this week tonight. And depending on what time we are at, and anybody in here, anybody not understanding what I'm saying, does everybody understand and get the gist of what I'm saying? And if not, please ask questions about it, because we're here to help you to understand it in the best way from love, because this is heavy shit, and the stars go with all that is going on here, the destruction of the financial world, the destruction of the school system, because they're not based in truth. They're all based in darkness. And so it must collapse. And that's what's going to be happening and is happening. The question is, can you see it? As this delusion of Neptune and Pisces, as Neptune rolls into Aries, oh motherfucker, what a storm it's going to be, because Aries is about action, and it's a fire. It's a fire sign. It's the original ruler of Pluto, not Pluto, of Scorpio. It's the original ruler of Scorpio. So Aries is all about the me, but it's all about the fire, right? The passion, all right? And it is going to burn the doors off the illusion of the planet of Neptune so people can see the truth. And as soon as they understand that the self is being infringed upon, your freedoms for you is being infringed upon, as soon as the people really start to get this as Neptune moves into Aries, and it's happening now, and this is all in the stars. And as soon as the people wrap their heads around the new social credit system, right, that if you wear green underwear when they tell you to wear purple, you're going to be fined $5, and we're just going to whip that money right out of your bank account. And fuck you, because we're the government. We're the world government, and we know what's best for you, and it's the green underwear today. Yeah, you're going to be like, yeah, fuck you. Not happening. Not happening. Because that's just, it's so sacrilegious, really, to everything that is God and love. So out of alignment. So out of alignment, right? So, these are those tools. These are those times. And this is what's happening in the stars, as well as, Uranus in Taurus with the crazy financial system. That's going to be breaking down. So we're going to see a lot of world government disruption, a lot of changes, the people coming together, the dollar, the dollar is definitely at some point going to demise in value, but it will retain its value for a while. Anything in Earth world that is physical in Earth world will have its value for quite some time, because that's Saturn. That is Earth world. Okay. Saturn takes a long ass time. All right. In whatever it does. So Saturn takes time. It is father time. It is karma, Earth world time. So nothing happens without the work. That's Saturn. That's Saturn as well. Okay. That said, I'm going to end this part here unless you guys have any more questions. Is there anything else I need to know and talk about? If there is, God, bring it in reference to all this. And definitely take a look into these books, guys. Please give us feedback on what you think. Bring it to next week's show. And where are we time-wise, Ray? Do you know?
8:06.
Okay, so we do have some time. That's cool. So we got 45 minutes, guys, to really dive into your questions and from last week and this week. And I feel like we'll start with one from this week. Do we have any?
From this week?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We have Nikki.
All right, Nikki, go ahead.
He said, at around 7:30 p.m. tonight, my right knee has started giving out while walking or standing. I feel it's my right tendon. I've been fine all day. What's going on?
All right. What's the God's honest truth with Nikki? Give me my sage. Do you have some open ones? All right, we're just looking for some sage here. I'm going to clear the energy as we get to the bottom of this. Nikki, I feel like there's several things going on. One of the first thing that comes in, the shoes that you're wearing. You're walking a lot. So we know that you're going through detox. So that's some of the inflammation. Okay. So you're going to be on edge and you're going to have more inflammation than normal in certain situations across the board because you have a lowered immune system and we're working on your health. You're detoxing. You're working on your health to become your wellest you, as we know. This is all part of what you're going through. That said, that opens you up to different elements of inflammation, but I'm feeling like you're walking on a pair of shoes or you're walking on shoes that aren't really good for you to be walking in or healthy for you to be doing this walking in, and therefore it feels like there's some kind of shoe that the sole isn't right or it's crooked or it's in your gait and it's not working right. So it's time to switch up those shoes because there's a deficit and this is causing the inflammation in your knee. Okay, so, and it is more than what you'd say, like for a normal person in a day or two, it might be gone. It might take a little bit longer than that as you're healing, working on your healing, because you have variations of toxins in you and they take a long time, just like everything that's happening in the world with the inoculations. To get that shit out of us, it's going to take time, and we're really going to have to work at our health and be diligent to keep on being our best selves and rid ourselves of these toxins. That said, yeah, I feel like your shoes, you're wearing some kind of shoes that are out of alignment with your gait. So take a look at what you're wearing and reevaluate it, because it's jacking with the way that you're walking, and then it puts more stress and strain on one leg versus the other, and it just throws off your gait, and then that causes the inflammation, along with, the detoxing with it. You're already there's a propensity there with the detoxing and the poisons and stuff in your body. There's already a propensity for that to be inflamed as well, for anything, like even if you ate pasta or bread or sugars or sweets or any kind of thing that is toxic within you, or your blood sugar goes too high, you may get some inflammation as well. And it's the same type of thing where you're more prone to inflammation because of this, but this too in time will change. You will have less inflammation, but definitely look into your shoes, what shoes you're wearing. Look at the soles. Do we have a better lighter anywhere? No, that lighter's gone. It's lost its flame. We will return it. Thank you, God. All right. So, yeah, that's what I'm picking up on, Nick. I think you change your shoes. The other thing that you can do is you have the salts, right? I'm just going to ask Universe, what's going on there with the salts for you? For this, I'm getting a couple different things. I don't know exactly which ones you're doing at this time, unless I evaluate it and go really in depth into it. But for now, what comes in with this is 1 and 2 and 7 and 8, to heal this in its fastest way. Okay. Those are the things, those are the 4, salts that come in, for you, the biochemic cell salts from the pack that I know you have, to help you, heal this and with the symptoms, okay? And again, remember, look at your diet, because this is part of it, as well as, it's time to reevaluate your health stuff. You don't want to do the same health regimen over and over and over, the same supplements, without making a change, all right? Because at a certain point, and stay on them forever either, because at a certain point, you got to change up stuff so that you can keep in check your best health and well-being. If you hit a certain plateau, just like the old world saying, when you're doing a diet and you hit a plateau, it's time to do something different. Well, the same is true from your health, right? But, that's that old world saying. And without getting too much into that just gives you an idea of what I'm talking about here. It's time to change up some of these things. But I think we've talked about doing another health evaluation to see where to go with your supplements and what you're doing, what to change, whether it's diet, vitamins, minerals, herbs, and to change up those things. Because you got to make changes in you, because your body in some way, shape, or form a lot of times becomes immune to these things. Then it's time to change them. It's time to shake it up, especially when you're trying to you're dealing with stealth pathogens like mold pathogens, mold sickness, Lyme's disease, variations of tick diseases, all kinds of fungus, yeast, mold, all this kind of shit. Any kind of bacterial infections, really big stealth pathogen. Anytime you have them, they're really a bitch. They're a bitch, really, to get a handle on. So all of these things are things to relook into every so often as we get well. If we find we're at a plateau and we're not getting better, it's time to reevaluate. So this is definitely what is coming in for you. But these are things, the cell salts are the tools that can help you right now, as well as looking at your diet and changing your shoes. And I feel you'll have a quick recovery, 3 to 5 days, and it'll stop hurting. And again, rest it, put some cool ice on it. If you have like an ice pack that you can put in a refrigerator at work, and throughout the day elevate your leg and put that on it, that would be good for it as well, to help with the swelling. I'm not feeling the heat for you right now with that. Not at all. I'm feeling like a cool pack after you've been walking, because it's going to be irritated and it's going to have inflammation. But again, like I said, do the salts, 5, 5, 5, like we've talked about, meaning, do 1 and 2, 5 minutes apart. Then you could wait like 10 and then do the 7 and 8, and do that like every hour, up to, what I'm getting is 4 to 5 times a day for like the first 2 weeks. And this will get you where you need to go. And again, people, this This is homeopathic stuff. And Nikki, you know how it rolls. Ask God, ask love. Is this what is best for you? So you can make the best choices for you. And ultimately you make your healthcare decisions. As I always say, I am not an earth roll doctor, nor do I want to be one. I am a God person. And what I do is I get the best well-being from higher knowing of love for us all. And you pick and choose what you choose to do with it. And that's what I do as well for myself and my family. And God speaks to me. I fucking listen, and I share these gifts with you, but it is ultimately up to you. You are responsible, just like Saturn. You are accountable for you and the choices that you make, not me. So you have to make those choices. So ask God and love and the universe if this is what is best for you, and if it is, that you do it. Thank you, God, for that for us. That's simple. Okay. All right. So be well, my friend. Be well, and I'm sure we'll be talking about these things and working on them. Thanks so much, Nick. All right. So who's next? We'll do another, let's do like 5 from this week and 5 from the past. Ooh, blast from the past. All right, what do we got?
Right now, Nikki is our only one from right now.
Okay, nobody has one from right now?
Mm-mm.
What?
No, but we have a few people on that asked last week.
Okay, so Nikki is the only one for a question for right now.
Yes.
Okay, and then we have people from last week?
Yes.
All right, then let's do last week questions. Then we won't do 5 from now and then. We'll do 5 from the past. Let's do it.
Okay, Sarah Andrews would like a 5-er, please. Her birthday is August 9th, 1982, 10:04 p.m., Richmond, Virginia. Here's her chart.
All right, Sarah. Is that her name, Sarah?
Yeah.
All right, so Sarah. So when she says she wants a 5-er, she wants me to take a look at her chart and do a 5-er?
She did not specify.
Okay. All right, since you pulled it up, then that must be that it shall be. We're going to do it with the chart. All right, Sarah, let's see. What do we got for you? All right. August 9th is your birthday. Okay, you have Aries rising. So you have Aries in the Aries house, which is the first house. Okay, so Aries is a good power sign. In the first house, it's in its element. You have your moon in Aries as well. The issue with the moon in Aries for your 5-er. And then we're going to give you some background into you, which will then help you into your future, into your destiny and the choices that you make, and to understand you and your past better, as well as the choices you choose to make into the future and why you make those choices. Okay. All right. That said, you have your moon in the first house. Anytime you have your moon in the first house, your moon is Cancer. It is the mother. It is your emotions. It is your subconscious. When it is in the first house, it's very hard to hide it, okay? To hide your emotions, okay? People like me, I come on the show, you know what I'm thinking. It's like, I cry, I'm upset, right? I'm not a person, all my life my mother was like, you lying, Lynn, you're lying, whenever I was lying in the past, right? And she would always call me on it because I sucked as a liar. That's moon in the first house. Anybody who has moon in the first house, or moon on their ascending, or moon conjunct their ascending, is very much so powerfully 73 to 78 to 99% of the time not going to be able to hide your emotions. So in order for you to really hide your emotions, you're going to have to perfect it as an art to hide your shit from people, especially being an Aries energy. And Aries energy is boom, I'm doing it. And this is the way it is. So that's some powerful energy you got going on for the self. All right. But this is some of the challenges that you will have. So it is really best for you to always be honest and upfront with how you feel about everything, because it will stop you. And usually Aries is much more, it gives itself to that energy. That's one of the Aries characteristics. It says the things nobody else will say. Aries energy. So you will find you're that guy, right? You'll say things nobody else will say. Same thing with me here, right? The counter opposite is Aries. Of Aries is Libra, but they go hand in hand, right? The old saying of Libra is the iron fist and the velvet glove, because these energies come with each other. So I am very much like you. My emotions aren't hidden. I have moon in the first house. My moon is Capricorn, and Cancer, that like Aries and Libra, they go together. So hold on while I get back to your chart. This will give you great insight into you, all right, when you have moon in the first house. And this is for anybody who has the moon in the first house. You're going to be super sensitive. You are going to be super intuitive. And then you put Aries on top of that, boom, fire. So you have mad gifts, mad intuitive gifts, mad gifts of getting to the truth, mad gifts to do things. Where some of your challenges are going to be is when you run off and do things without thinking. about what you should be doing. And where you're not seeing others, you're only seeing yourself. These will be some of those mad challenges with the elements that you have in your first house. However, having the moon in there, Capricorn, Cancer, that's your moon, right? Your moon is really Aries, right? In this particular case, but you also have the element of Cancer and Capricorn in there. So you will be about doing the right thing. The question is, with Aries, there's going to have to be a balance there because you're going to be challenged sometimes to do the right thing in the healthiest, best way from love. And that's really all part of our journey. So that said, this gives me incredible insight to you. You have Taurus in the second house. Really, that's lovely. You should have tons of abundance. If you don't, tons of abundance means you love really great things. You have a propensity to bring in money easily. You can have money through working, yes, but Taurus is in its element in the second house, and you're a cusp of that. But on the end of that, on the far side, it says here you do like to spend because you do have Gemini in there towards the end. All right, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about so you guys can get a better perspective of the bottom corner of her ecliptic of her natal chart in her soul. So if you look right here in this bottom corner, I don't know if you guys can see it. All right. I think it's right over here. There's the ASC. All right. So I'm going to put it right there. Okay. So underneath that is the bottom corner, right? Yeah. And so that's what we're talking about. You'll see the Aries sign. You'll see her moon in there. You will see her Taurus in her second house and then her Gemini. So, Sarah, you have a lot of really like placements that many Earth world people would kill for because Taurus in the second house is great. Just like, because it's in its element. Okay. Jupiter in the second house is a planet that a lot of people, behooves people to have, is well known for bringing money in. But as a Taurus in the second house, you love beautiful things, you have nice things, you have a propensity to acquire them. The downside of that, and it's really not a downside, I feel like because it's it's like 2/3 Taurus, your second house, and then a third in Gemini, I do feel like you still like to buy things and allow yourself to have nice things. And so those are nice things to know about you. All right. And I'm sure now that we're putting them in words, you can see these things easier and better. And this helps you navigate in the future. Do I want to save my money? Do I want to buy my money? What kind of quality things do I want? Does money really come easy to me? And if it doesn't, then why doesn't it? Because then there's other elements here in the chart if you're not connecting to this. And in your astrology, whether it's in this layer of your astrology or deeper down in your soul, okay, in the astrology, because it will always be in the astrology somewhere. All right. Whether it's in there or not, whether it's no question whether it's in there or not, it's in there somewhere. So the question becomes, where is that? So you would ask universe to find these energies if you feel like you're not like you don't have abundance, or abundance doesn't come easy to you, or you feel like you're a mad spender, or you need to change these energies, right? The answer is always in your soul, and it will show up right here in your chart. And this is for all of us, but this also comes with self-worth. Okay. And so you also have your North Node in Taurus. So that means your South Node is Scorpio. Welcome to my world. That's about your North Node is about your destiny. My North Node is also in Taurus. My South Node is also in Scorpio. These are some of the roughest spiritual placements that are out there. People who can live with this kind of shit that people who have South and North Node in Taurus and Scorpio go through some really traumatic lives. They have a spiritual calling. That is not why you're here. Right? Yeah, you have a high-end spiritual calling. Somebody to give you some ideas of some tough lives and experiences that people have gone through of the past that have North and South Node in Taurus and Scorpio would be Jackie Kennedy Onassis. Can you just imagine being married to the president and what kind of life that would be? And then the president was a philanderer, right? And that's the person that you love, and then whether your partner is respecting you or not is now in the public eye. That can be some really tough stuff to live with, if your husband's a philanderer and he's out with other people, right? Then on top of all that, what it must have been like to have that whole experience in Dallas for Jackie with JFK and the horrible demise and the experience that she had, quite honestly. Do you know what I mean? Where he is shot in the head right next to her. Just god awful, rough ass shit. And yet she's able to keep it together because these people have us very powerful spiritual space in their soul, in their heart, that is able to power through. And that's also why you're Aries. The shit that you have gone through and are going to go through in this lifetime, right? You're going to need that Aries energy to fucking power through, because you're not a girl who's going to fold in the end. Not now, not ever. It's not in your core, the makeup of your soul and your heart. It's not who you are. But this is who we have to be to fight this darkness. We can't fold to it, right? And we can't fold to anything if we're going to live our greatest dreams as well, right? So, and we certainly can't fold to our own bullshit. Right? So, or our own unwellness. So, this tells us about your destiny. It tells us about some pretty amazing things about you and your character and the person that you are, and the spiritual elevation or spiritual space of love and understanding that you have within you, right? Really neat stuff. So in this life with your North Node, you're meant to enjoy beautiful things. The question is, can you? With your North Node in Taurus. All right, your Scorpio is of the past. Your North Node in Scorpio is your South Node in Scorpio is of the past, using the gifts of the past into the present. What's interesting, you have your Scorpio North Node in its element as well. Incredible shit. Meaning a huge transformation. Which is really neat. When I say in its element, so what that means really is that your South Node is about getting to the God's honest truth. You have huge spiritual gifts. Scorpio is about getting to the God's honest truth. You have incredible intuition. You have incredible ability to get to the bottom of things. People will come to you for the answers to questions, just like people do on my show. What's the God's honest truth of this, Lynn? And that's that Scorpio energy. It gets to the bottom of the God's honest truth. It is your detectives in Earthworld. If you thought of it in a way to manifest in people in Earthworld reality, it would be your detectives, your scientists, your teachers, who really are those things in their hearts. Okay, because and Scorpio is about transformation, death, dying, transformation, rebirth. That's what's so this planet. What your gifts from the past to come right here, and you are in your element in this world, in this planet, in these times. Believe it or not, just like me, can't have that South Node, man. We've been through hell and back. That's why we've decided to come here and kick ass on the hell, kick ass on the darkness, because we got the tools to do that. Right? In our arsenal, in our souls, with all that is God and love. So we have incredible power. So in this lifetime, though, you're also meant to enjoy beautiful things and live for you. But this is about healing your self-worth. So this is going to be a prominent theme throughout all of this. This is North Node, South Node, Taurus, Scorpio. Okay. But you are super intuitive, super gifted in all elements, or all what you would call, like, is it the clair essences, or like in what they call in like Earthworld, where they say you're clairvoyant, you're clairaudient, you're clairsentient, you're D, all of the above. Okay, so that means you have all of those gifts. But people at this level of God that is on my show, all of us have all these gifts, just in different ways and different energies within this. To let all of you know, the question is, finding them in your chart. They'll be in different aspects, but what you are is what you attract, and we are these people, and this is why we're here. That said, you have your sun in Leo. It's about being in your heart, doing creative things, living your greatest life. It's about world stage. So you have some amazing, awesome things to do into the future creatively for you, from heart, from your love, from love for you, and on the world stage, if you choose, whatever they may be. They could be Earthworld things like music and art and writing. They could be beyond being on stage, being an entertainer. They could be being a teacher, sharing your gifts with the world, but being in your heart. It's what you love to do. You have come in here. The sun is the self. It is also the father. And you have come in here, and it's in the 5th house in Leo. So it's to do what you love, and you will be great at it. And that's for all of us. My favorite quote from Steve Jobs: do what you love, and amazing things you will do. Okay? Yeah. All right. So that said, reading your chart, anything else for Sarah here now, please, as I wrap it up? Oh, okay. It does look like in your relationship sector, basically in your chart, in your 7th house of opposite the first house, your first and seventh, Aries, Libra, go together. You have a lot of work to do in there. It is in the Libra house, which is in its element. You have a lot of the houses are in their elements. It's pretty, a lot of the signs are in the elements of their house, which is really, really cool. However, there is definitely a lot of planets in here that are in your seventh house. You have Saturn, you have Pluto, you have Jupiter, you have Mars. So you have a lot of shit going on there in your relationships. Interesting enough. You could look up to check out more and learn more about this for you. You could look up Saturn in Libra, Saturn in the seventh house. Also, same thing, Pluto in Libra, Pluto in the seventh house, Jupiter conjunct Mars in the seventh house, Jupiter and Libra, Mars in Libra, as well as them in the seventh house, as well as them in Scorpio and not in the seventh house, let me see, no, they're not really conjunct. So it would be, and in Scorpio as well for those last two, Jupiter and Mars. So these are some placements that you can look up really to learn a lot about you, but you can also know that your big three in Earth World reality is that you have Aries rising, you have Aries moon, so you're like a double, quadruple Aries. And then what is your birthday? Let me see here. August 9th, that's Leo sun. So you're going to have a lot of powerful placements of being about the self. Now, your self can either be buried and meant to come out, and that's why you have Taurus in the second house. It's about self-worth and value. When you value you, as you heal these things on this journey in this lifetime, or however many lifetimes you want to do it, or whatever it takes, as you heal you, all these things and gifts are going to come out in a whole different way, and great, incredible things are coming for you. So it's going to be a fantastic journey. I feel it already has, and many blessings. And if you have any specific questions and things you want to know, just holler. Okay? Any more to know? Thanks. All right. Much love, girl. All right. Jen, this is yours?
Yeah.
Okay. How much time we got?
It is 8:30.
8:30, people. Got 15 more minutes. Go ahead.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Next is Sarah Sutra. She is asking if fiat money will become worthless.
All right. Next up here, Sarah Sutra. Hey, girl. Thanks for coming. Fiat money, at some point, you can say it will become worthless, but just like all things that are, I guess is the word antiquated, that become antiques. Through history, through time, when people can't get certain things anymore, things become worth different things. Like everything from Beanie Babies to, fantastic pieces of art, to gold and silver. The value of these things fluctuates. So for a long time after the Great Reset, there will be an underlying market, and the American dollar will still be worth a decent amount of money. Okay, it will still have value. They are doing their best to destroy it. They absolutely are. So therefore, you want to have your hand in a lot of different currencies for your security. Security is of the essence here in Earth World with Saturn. Okay. So what does that mean? You want to have gold, you want to have silver, you want to have platinum, you can even do some mining stocks like uranium, mining stocks. And there are some other mining stocks to look into that are good ones. Again, research it. All right. Because again, like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a financial advisor either. Okay. I'm just telling you what I'm being guided to for me and for all of you from love, and you pick and choose and work with love to make the best choice for you financially. However, it is wise to have dollars as much as you can, but not in the banks. It is never wise in these times to have dollars in the banks, a lot of dollars in the banks. So you keep what you need to in the banks. If you haven't noticed, the banks are not playing. In other words, it's tough to get your money out. They're assholes about it. They're finding the fuck out of you. They're charging you for this. They're charging you for that. You call them up. You ask them not to. They're taking your credit away. And these are all the things that are going on, right? No matter who you are, whether you have an 800 credit score or a 5 credit score. But really the credit score is all based in a control system of debt that they have created, that they have totally abused themselves in the world government. And now they want you to be accountable. It's like what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. It's such bullshit. All right. But this is again, the collapse of all of this, because it comes down to truth of God of love. And it is time for us to change the shit that's been going on in this world. And this is all part of that. But in our Earth World people spaces, we must prepare. It is a lot harder to rip this lighter out of my hand than it is to take it out. If I showed you a picture of it, to wipe it out on the internet, on the telephone, right? Just like the zeros in your bank account, they can easily wipe them out. And it's already happening with the stock market. There already is stock market in people's IRAs and people's investments. They're all going down, hard. But it's going to be over time, until one day you wake up and all the money's gone and you're going to be like, what the fuck? I had $900,000 in there, or I had my whole pension in there, or my whole life savings in here. And this is where it's heartbreaking. So this is why it behooves all of us to be wise. You don't know how to get your money out. You ask God that you do. You don't know where to put it. You ask God that you do. You don't know how to invest it. You ask God that you do, to get the best answers for you. But I will tell you across the board, as a general rule, what God has told me, about money, about gold, about silver. Also, there's something called gold backs to look into. And even if these things, right, don't come to fruition where we would use them, because things have multiple different layers of value, just like everything that is God. You can have a $5 gold back, right, where it says $5 and it's equivalent, let's say, in the state of Nevada, because there's certain states that are doing these things called gold backs. All right, it's a form of gold that's woven into like currency, like a dollar. Okay, and they have it in 1 and 5 and 10s. But here's the deal: you can buy a 1 ounce coin of bullion gold for like, I don't know, $1,800 is the spot price today. But if you buy 1 ounce of gold backs, it'll run you close to $6,000. Okay, because the process costs a lot more. It's about the convenience. It's about diversity. It's about having different avenues and ways to spend money. But that money can be spent in different ways, but you must know how and the true value of it across the board in all ways. So your $1 bill is really worth anywhere from 3 to 5, but the price go in gold. So it goes up and down depending upon the price of gold. And if the economy tanks, that $1 could be worth hundreds of dollars. Do you see? Based on the price of gold in the moment. And just like the dollar bill's value will fluctuate, so will everything. So you got to be on top of it with how? How do you do that? You ask God. You work with God. You work with love. So this way, you don't lose your money. You don't lose your shirt. Just like if the Chinese armies were to start coming in here, or you started to see this and you start to see the truth of everything that's going on out here, or something crazy, like that happens. Let's say the Chinese army comes in here. Right, you're going to know what the God's honest truth. You're going to see it out there, right? And you're going to see it. The same thing is true. Let me just see where we were going with this, because we got into other stuff that they're telling me I need to talk to you about, talk to everybody about. We go in these zones. Okay, so let's put the Chinese army over here, because this is something that has a great propensity. It's already kind of here and it's coming, but it will be harder for them to take it away from you, because you will fight and you will see the truth of everything, right? So it'll be hard for them to take gold and silver and these things away from you if they do come onto American soil and try to do it that way. Ultimately, they can't do that now, and they know it, but they're setting everybody up for it, right? That's why they made everybody in the Navy and in the American Navy, or they tried to make everybody inoculated. Don't be no fool. That's why, because they're trying to destroy the American army, but they can't get to the American people, because the American people are, your general public. It's going to be a lot harder to get to them. Okay. But bringing it back to the fiat currency and the dollar and all of this. All right. This is all stuff that it behooves you to have to protect you with these gold backed dollar things, when depending on if the economy tanks, this will be worth a lot of money, but it will also carry money in different ways and different values and throughout time. Okay, so sometimes your gold will be worth less, sometimes your gold will be through the roof. And when people can't get those things that they need, then the value goes through the roof on top of that. And then there's something called numismatic value, like the value of art, the value of precious coins. Like if you have an ancient gold coin from the Civil War, it may be only 1 ounce of gold, it may be worth $1,800, but in numismatic value, it's the only one in the world, and now it's worth millions. Do you see my point? So you got to know the value of everything in anything. And just like if the Chinese soldiers come in, I will know about that before it even happens, right? God will guide us. God will tell us. We'll know everything that we need to do from love, by working with love, by doing what we do here. But we also balance and protect ourselves and be aware and be wise when we need to know what to do, when to do, how to do, why to do it, and everything about it. We ask God, we ask love for those answers, and boom, there they are, right? So know this, the dollar, it's wise to have a decent amount of currency if you can have it. It's wise to have a decent amount of coin gold and different kinds of gold, as well as it is for art and things of value. Okay. Ask universe, your heart, and God to guide you from love to all the things that you should have. But they have these neat new things called these gold-backed dollars, and 4 states have now done it or are doing it. I think it's New Hampshire and Nevada are 2 of them. Also, they're in derivatives of $1, $5, $10, $20, $10, $25, and $50. And to give you an idea of the value, right? These things, if you think about a normal dollar bill, it is gold interwoven into, I think it's like I'm not sure if it's a silicone, but it's gold, interwoven gold, and it looks like a shiny gold dollar, right? But the thing is, it will be and is now able to be used in currency here in the state of Nevada or in the state of New Hampshire, depending on where it is. So if I have a business in the state of New Hampshire, I could trade using those gold-backed dollars. They're called gold-backs. You guys look this up, what I'm saying. Don't just take my word for it. Do your research. Follow your heart. Ask God to show you the God's honest truth. Okay, so that you can validate it and back it up, so you know what the fuck to do and how to do everything, and have all the gifts and tools you need from love. That said, your $1 is really worth like between 3 and 5 in gold. It fluctuates again with the price of gold. So this is about an ever-changing world of abundance, an ever-changing world in all ways with God. So you got to be on it, and the only way that you're going to be on everything in your life in the best way from love is by working with that love, right? For all of us. Cool shit. All right, so a $10 bill, it will be worth like, trying to think if between 3 and 5, a $10 bill, I believe, is like $40. A $25 gold back is then worth $100 in gold, and a 50 is worth almost $200. Just to give you an idea. So a $100 worth of gold backs in what you would call like American dollar value, right? What it says, it's $1, it's $5. In gold backs, in the actual gold value, it's almost worth $500 in gold it is worth. Do you see? But if you don't know that, people are going to rip you off left and right. And so should you use this money right now? It's wise to have this if you need it, but you will always have that value. And then if the gold value goes up to $50,000 for an ounce of gold, well, think about that, because many of you who are great math people can do the math here. Well, 1/50th or 1/500th of an ounce of gold equals how many dollars based on that price? Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of cool shit out here to invest in and diversify. Think about food, think about water, think about blankets, think about toothpaste, think about things that everyday needs, so that you have all your needs met. Keep stocking up, keep rotating as much as you can, and help each other and come from love with each other, as well as in time, so in case whatever will be is coming. And when I say in case, the nature of God is everything is always changing amazingly. And this may never all come to fruition, because it may be shut down by some miracle angelic, like civilian SEAL team that may take out all the world leaders. And so be it from love, right? And change all of this, right? And that's the nature of God. But it is always better to be way prepared for anything that comes in earth world than to not be, because you can always share your abundance with the world and everybody you love. How cool is that? And also your security is your health, really. If you have your health, right, you have everything, because your health is your security. But also security, same thing. There are certain things that you got to have in earth world. Your security, your health, your needs met, right? And also protection. But the best way for you to have everything you need is by working with God or love all the time and doing what we do here. And this is for all of us, no matter who you are, what vibration you're at. You know, the more you work with love, the more you change your world, the more great things happen for you, the more the flow of God that you're in. And really, truly, you will always have the upper hand of no matter what darkness comes your way. So if those Chinese soldiers were 2 blocks down here, somebody's going to ride by in a car and be screaming, get the fuck out, so you can run, so you can escape, and you'll get out because universe, God, your heart, by working with God, will be so connected. It will tell you when you need to leave, how you need to leave, what you need to do. You won't have to be watching no motherfucking television set. Right? One time there was a tornado going through my neighborhood, and I'm going out to go somewhere and pick up my kids and shit. And I come out and it's like windy and stormy, and I know there's a storm and I can feel it, and it's all exciting, and I love storms, right? I have so much Pluto energy. I fucking love storms. So, right. And I'm in the zone, and my neighbor's yelling from across the street. He's going, tornadoes are coming. The tornadoes are coming. You got to get inside. It's all over the news. And I was like, holy shit. Isn't that amazing that I don't have to watch the news, and here's God telling me through my neighbor what's happening and what I need to do, right? Or what it behooves me to do. Because if I need to know something, anything, whatever it is, I ask God and the answer comes. It could come from my neighbor just like that. It could come from you guys here. It could come from my dreams. It could come from my visions. It could come from my heart. But it literally will always come in through love, energy, and my connection to God. Always, whether I ask or not consciously. But the best way to have infinite gifts with God is to consciously ask, the Walter Russell way. Look up Walter Russell. You guys, a lot of you guys don't know about him. Everybody knows about Nikola Tesla, right? Everybody knows about him, and everybody knows about Albert Einstein, but a lot of people don't know about Walter Russell. Amazing, amazing, amazing spiritual being. And in his quotes, one of the greatest quotes I love from him is when people would say to him, why is it that you can do these things that I cannot do? And he would say, because I work knowingly with God. Boom! There it is. I work knowingly with God. I talk to God, motherfuckers. That's why I can do what you cannot. That's everybody. That's the formula. And if you did this, you too could have this, right? So easy. So easy. But this is where we're going, man. This is it. Exciting times. I'm psyched for you guys to be the greatest you. And we're already working there, and we're already on our way. All right, so Sarah, that's the truth. The money's going to fluctuate. It's wise to have money. Have as much as you can and keep it in a special space. You don't know where to keep it? Ask God to. Don't put it in the banks. Don't put it in a safety deposit box. Don't put it at a friend's house. Find a space that is safe for you, that universe guides you to, and ask for it. And tell absolutely fucking nobody, because we live in such a nasty, toxic world of deceit. Nobody. Right? Remember that old world saying? It's now more true than ever. Loose lips sink ships. Right? Yeah. So ask God. Put it together. Wherever you need to put it is where it needs to be. And don't keep everything, all your tools in one space, all your magic in one space. Nope. Diversify. Have different hiding spaces, different special spaces for all of your assets. Remember this, guys, because these are great tools for all of us, right? And ask universe where those spaces are, and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed what comes in. All right. Okay. That said, so remember, everything's going to fluctuate all the time. It's about being on top of everything with God, so you know. But it's definitely, you want to have dollars as well, because when the bank shut down, you're not going to be able to get to the ATMs, just like Greece. I think it was in the 80s when they shut everything down, and people had what they thought was millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars in the bank. They waited online. They couldn't get to their money. That's not a position anyone wants to be in. All right. Not in Earth world. You want to have the power to do whatever you feel from love, and money is a power energy in Earth world, right? But it is about freedom. It is about positive, healthy things in the space of what you believe in your heart. Okay. Money is a great thing if your intention is great from love. Right? Okay. That said, Sarah, I hope that answers your question, and a whole bunch more cool shit for everybody there. All right. What else we got, Ray and Jen?
It is 8:46. I don't know. Did you want to do one more? Or?
Jen says it's 8:46. We do one more.
Okay. Mark Etheridge.
Mark.
Yep. Last week he said he saw a movie about World War I, and it was from the German soldiers' perspective of battle and what they went through. He said he had a super crazy emotional reaction to the movie. That was crazy, that light.
Lights out, lights out. Okay. All right, Mark, go ahead. Lights out, spirits alive.
So he had a super crazy emotional reaction to the movie, and he said it felt real, and he would like to know your thoughts on that, please.
Yeah, there's major connection to you in this movie, Mark. You've had many, many, many lifetimes about war, being a soldier, being a fighter. In fact, you're a Pisces, Aries. You're Aries in this lifetime. So Aries is all about being a warrior and a fighter, and all of us are warriors. Especially people who are in alignment with Archangel Michael. Energy and Christ energy. We're talking about people who have a massive warrior energy. It doesn't mean it's the only energy in there. There's variations of everything, just like you can find Christ energy in millennials too. So you definitely are connecting to these dimensions within your soul. That's why it was so real. So this is some really powerful stuff to look into, possibly into healing, but you're definitely going into multidimensional spaces within this space, within your soul. There's no doubt about that. And this is about healing. This is about connecting to this reality. If you have a notebook and can write, definitely write. This will also help you immensely with your communication. Any communication stuff, anytime you write, it helps you get your stuff out. Great tools, writing for understanding ourselves as well as releasing stuff. And if you do like, I think they have a name for it. What is that called? There's a name for it. Lucid writing or free writing, where you just write, and ask God to do that. Just release it and write it. Automatic writing, I think they call it. Yeah, and you can ask for those gifts and those tools. But this will also help you get it out and remember it as well, because these things can be very emotional and very intense. So I definitely feel that that's what was going on with you, Mark. Does he have any other questions with it?
Not that I see right now.
Yeah. And it's about healing. It's about connecting to those energies. And oddly enough, not really though, amazingly enough, not oddly enough, amazingly enough, Mark, this dream, what happened to you in this experience was really about taking your power back. You've given up your power for a long ass time, and now you're going to be taking it back.
Cool.
And the truth is, you've been working on yourself, and this is why. And so there's massive release here, along with all of the stuff that we just talked about. Really cool shit. Really cool stuff. Healing, understanding, gifts. I see a lot of red around it. I see like red skies. And that's Aries energy. That's life force energy. That's passion. But I feel like it's like red smoke. Yeah. Anything else, God, for Mark? This. Wow. I'm getting Marlo was in this lifetime with you. Marlo was in this lifetime with you.
Cool.
Yeah. So get in the zone with Marlo and talk to him about it. Marlo is Mark's newest dog, everybody. In case you didn't know. Okay. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, ask God to know, ask God to see, ask God to understand, ask God to bring these memories with you and Marlo in from this lifetime. This is also going to help you with your relationship with Marlo, as well as connect in a more deeper way from lifetimes. Cool shit, right?
That is so cool.
Cool shit. All right. So that said, thank you everybody for coming. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Thanksgiving. I'm so stoked. We're going to have a great day and put it out there. We have the best holidays, the best food, the best company, the best friends, the best family, the best life, the best everything from love. Thank you all for coming. If you can donate, do. And be in your hearts, guys. Be in your hearts. All right. Love yous. See you next week at 7.